How's everyone doing? Welcome back to another episode of The Banker Next Door. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Berquist. Today I wanted to talk about GEO, Generative Engine Optimization. This is a brand new term that I just became aware of. I was kind of like, what is GEO? But obviously everyone knows about SEO, Search Engine Optimization. Well, GEO is the next generation of SEO. And we're going to look at this blog post that I came across from PCBB today. And there is a link to this blog post in the description down below if anybody would like to go look at it. But let's get into this. So as AI-backed internet searches gain popularity, businesses that don't incorporate generative engine optimization, GEO, into digital content could be left behind by search engines. So we detail GEO best practices. So what are the basics of GEO? Well, quite simply, GEO is the next generation of SEO. It encompasses the steps that organizations take to ensure that their content and websites rank as high as possible in AI searches. Instead of ranking search results based primarily on keywords, the algorithms behind GEO strive to provide people with more comprehensive and accurate results by aggregating information from multiple sources into a readable summary. In addition to searching based on keywords, GEO seeks to provide more refined results by structuring content in a way that it can easily be searched and summarized by AI. Not only does GEO incorporate rankings and keyword standings, but it also analyzes everything from topics to the structure of content and even citation patterns, and incorporates the way that different AI platforms display and prioritize content. As consumers have quickly overcome their initial apprehension of generative AI, technologies such as ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity are growing by leaps and bounds as people embrace such platforms, from everything from assistance with crafting emails to help managing their personal finances. ChatGPT now boasts close to 181 million active monthly users, while Perplexity AI, which launched less than 3 years ago, has seen its usage rise 858% over the last year to roughly 10 million active users each month. So why GEO is important for digital marketing. So as more people bypass traditional search engines like Google in favor of AI searches or the AI summaries that many search engines now provide, community financial institutions or banks, need to be as focused on creating geo-friendly content as they are on tailoring content to SEO algorithms. According to Gartner, 70% of people already trust the results of generative AI searches, and 79% of consumers will likely use AI-backed search over the next year. As a result, Gartner predicted that by 2026, organic search activity will decline by more than 50%, and traditional search volume is likely to drop roughly 25%. Failing to incorporate GEO into websites and marketing materials could result in banks being completely left out of the search results people rely on to identify banking products and services. So let's talk about that for just a second. Now, I have seen multiple articles on the potential that, like, let's say Google, for example, that the Google search results were dropping. However, then Google releases their their earnings and stuff like that, and they talk about search results. They released data on the search results. Their search results were fine, and they actually were going up. So again, is Google not being straightforward with us? Are they kind of lying about some of their numbers? I don't know. I'll give them. I'll take it at face value and basically say, no, everything appears to be fine. So like I said, I think there is some, there's a lot of information right now going back and forth. It's like, okay, is AI, kill these search results? Is it not? But I think the issue here is that as AI gets more incorporated in that, Google is certainly incorporating their own AI into their basic search results, as are all these other platforms. So, and it's very interesting. So like on your phone, right? Like if you have an iPhone, whatever, you could download any of these AI platforms. Like, I mean, you could have, I have a number of them on my phone. I mean, you have Grok, you have ChatGPT, like you said, Perplexity, Gemini, some of these other ones. I mean, you just basically you can download the app and you have it right on there. And I mean, I use it to search basic things all the time, and it could be as silly as like, hey, is this actor still alive? How old is this actress? Is this person married to so and so still? It's like, oh, what were the years that this show aired? Could you give me some statistics on this athlete? I mean, I think a lot of that basic kind of stuff is out there. Just a lot of these, and I think people are doing a lot of these type of things. And when I think what Gartner says, oh, well, 70% of people already trust the results of generative AI. I think again, I haven't looked at the Gartner research, but I'm making an assumption here that that's kind of why people trust it, because it's just like basic everyday kind of things, that are more common, that the AI can get directly off the internet, which for the most part I would say is pretty accurate. I think it's the more complex things, like, again, when it comes to writing papers and doing research and things like that, that's where I think you still need to be very careful with AI, because I think, again, we've seen some recent studies from MIT that basically show that when people are using AI, they have a tendency to get very lazy and not really remember what it was that they were researching. It's very interesting, but basically, when you're leaning too much on AI, your brain basically is shutting off, and you're not paying attention to things the way that you normally would. But I digress. Not to get too far. I'm just trying to point out that there's definitely a little bit of hype in this. Like, the SEO is not going away tomorrow. The search results aren't going away tomorrow. But it is very critical to look at this. I mean, I looked up my own podcast doing this. I would suggest everybody. Here's a great exercise for everyone when you get done listening to this, because I know you're going to listen to the end, right? I think that I want you to go to some AI engine, whether it's ChatGPT, Grok, whatever you're using. Go to it, and I want you to look up your company. I want you to look up if you own a business, or if you have a podcast or bank or whatever. I want you to go look it up through the AI. And I want you to see what comes up, because I think it will be very eye-opening to you to see what comes up, because the AI is basically, it's going to pull a lot of stuff off your website. It's going to look at current news. It's going to look at, maybe reviews or different comments that people have put out there. But again, it is very interesting to look at what comes up when you do these searches through an AI platform. So again, that's an exercise. I want everybody to do that after they're done listening to this. So, but let's continue here. So, best practices for implementing GEO. So, fortunately for banks, there is a lot of overlap between the way that organizations should approach both SEO and GEO. One of the first things that banks should do is to audit their organization's AI search results to determine how easily their existing website content is understood and aggregated by tools such as ChatGPT and Perplexity. Cleaning up data, filling out missing data, and ensuring existing data is simple and standardized are critical for GEO. It is also important to clarify your business strategy and exactly what your organization is hoping to achieve before experimenting with GEO and the ways it can support your goals. Once you do begin exploring GEO, a few things to keep in mind include the need to keep your system continuously updated and operating at its fastest possible speed, the importance of ensuring that data and language are structured so that they resonate well both online and with mobile devices, and the need to stay updated on improvements to both SEO and GEO. Finally, ensure that any content you create, including advertisements, will work not just for AI-backed search engines, but for traditional online search engines as well. And then they have kind of a nice chart here. It has SEO, it has area, primary goal, key strategy, content, heading and structure, tone and language, technical markup, content updates, mobile and page speed, backlinks, authority signals, testing visibility, success metrics, and it has SEO, search engine optimization, and then GEO, generative engine optimization, and it goes through both sides of it. I'm not going to break down each one here, but again, a great chart to look at. Again, I said there's a link to this down in the description if you want to go pull it up just to go take a deeper look at this, but some good things on there. And then the following are a few things to consider when crafting content that is GEO friendly. So use formatting that's easy to summarize and skim. Prioritize natural language. Update data to build credibility. Include long tail keywords in content. In other words, use keyword phrases that are 3 words or longer, known as long tail keywords, that people are most likely to type into search engines within content. This helps your content match more easily with specific queries that internet users are seeking answers to. And then basically monitor performance on AI searches. So, adoption of AI backed searches is rising rapidly and will only continue to gain traction, particularly among the younger generations. Failing to actively incorporate GEO into your organization's online content could prove costly down the road. So, yeah, so again, this is very interesting. So, again, I was not aware. GEO was not something that was on my radar, not something I was really aware of. But again, I found this very interesting, and that's why I wanted to share with everyone. Undoubtedly, there's going to be a lot of books. There's going to be a lot of conversations about GEO and the future of SEO and maybe how those things work together or how SEO changes because of GEO. So again, a lot of stuff is going to come out of this as we move forward. But again, if you're in your marketing departments or you're doing digital advertising, absolutely something to definitely be thinking about and working on as we move forward, no doubt. So, okay. Well, I will wrap up by saying if you like this episode, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, as that always helps the channel. Remember, we are on YouTube, Rumble, and all major podcast platforms. Please be sure to leave your comments down below, as I always love getting back to everybody. And as always, make sure to check out some of the other content on the channel. I thank you so much for listening. Have a great day out there, and I will see everyone again real soon. Thanks a lot.